Hi, I'm Becca, founder of Our Little Montessori subscription box, and this tutorial is for the November primary box, and I really hope that you love it. If you have any questions or if you want to share what you love about your box, please comment below, and don't forget to subscribe to our channel so you don't miss any lesson tutorials in the future. Thanks. So we've opened our November primary box, and inside you'll find our flyer that discusses each item, or that lists each item and their purpose. A lot of these items really are for family and for food preparation, which is one of my favorite things to do in the Montessori classroom and at home. And then below that, ways that you can find us or reach out to us through other social media platforms. We're going to use that. The next thing that we have in our box is a little bag full of items. And these items are a pumpkin, an apple, a leaf, and a feather. Feel free to replace these with real items if you do have a small pumpkin or a really small apple or a beautiful fall leaf. I put these fake items in here mostly just because I wanted them to be able to be preserved by you to be used at a later time. And then of course if I put a dying leaf, we might not have a full leaf by the time it got to you. So these are the items that I think that would work best for you in the long run. So I really hope they work out. And these items are special to me because they are part of our I Spy game, which is the part of the language curriculum in Montessori. And for our I Spy game, we also have this beautiful basket. This is made by Courtesy and Grace. She is an Etsy vendor, and I am just amazed at this beautiful stitching and the color and the feel and the softness of this basket. I mean, it's really quite amazing. In the November box, this is used for I Spy. That's the intention for it in the box. However, feel free once your child has moved on from I Spy, or if you really have another basket that fits these items better and you want to use this for something special on your shelf, feel free to switch them out. The beauty of these boxes is that you really do get to customize at home, but the intention for the basket in this box is for our I Spy game. With our I Spy game, you definitely want to put this on a shelf in the basket like this, so the items look enticing to your child and they want to try it. And then you want to invite them to use this material. You can simply say, I'd like to show you something new, or we have this new material called I Spy. Would you like to play with me? And then you bring it over to a table or a work rug. If you don't know what a work rug is, it's really just a simple canvas style rug that you can lay on the floor. If you have lots of pets or much smaller children, I do not recommend using the rug. You can definitely use a children's sized table. You take out each of the materials. This is a feather, apple, pumpkin, and leaf. And how this works is you'll say, I spy with my little eye something that begins with the sound ah. And your child can look at each item. They can say them out loud. Feather, apple, ah, apple, apple. Yes, ah begins apple. And then you continue on to each of the next items, leaf, pumpkin, and feather. And once they're all done, you can repeat this exercise as many times until your child has mastered it and you're ready to move on. Another extension of this, if your child's a little older, or once they master it, you can get it out and explain to them that you're going to show them something new with this material, something exciting. It's new. I spy with my little eye something that ends with n. Pumpkin. Pumpkin ends with n. And you continue on with apple, and that you would say ul as well, feather and leaf. And you can do the last sound of each of those. Now, let's say your child's a little older than that, or they've mastered those two things, and you would still like to use this beautiful material, and you're wondering, how in the world can I? You can definitely use this with the movable alphabet if you're lucky enough to have that with you in your home, or any other movable alphabet. It doesn't have to be the traditional Montessori movable alphabet. And that's just a bunch of loose alphabet letters that your child can manipulate to spell anything, their name, words, items in their environment, including items in this basket. They can sound out pumpkin, they can sound out feather, they can sound out leaf or apple. I would like to let you know that if you are new to this language curriculum for Montessori, that if your child were to spell leaf, L-E-F, that's not something that we would correct. That's something that over time with reading and language exposure, and then of course the introduction of the blend sounds, E-A, they will learn that leaf is spelled L-E-A-F. At this point, if they're sounding it out and they really believe it's O-E-F, that's good for now. We really just want to keep encouraging that they're reading and doing other things along with this. So eventually they will realize that leaf is spelled L-E-A-F. Same thing goes for apple. That E at the end that you don't really hear, definitely don't want to correct that. It can just be something that you show them later in a different material. You can even have a different material that follows up with this that shows these words so they can start recognizing the difference in the way that they're sounding it out and the way that it's actually spelled without actually calling them out for misspelling the material. And then of course after that they can build sentences. I took my pumpkin and apples to the store, or I picked a pumpkin. A turkey has feathers. The leaves are falling. Really just some beautiful materials that they can manipulate at home. And this can go back in here. For I Spy. Next, we have our book. And this is a Let's Celebrate Thanksgiving rookie poetry book. And I love this book because of the pictures. Again, we want to stick with things that are real. We have so many new, wonderful, exciting things that we're learning about when we're 3, 4, 5 years old. And so, to them, this is just as exciting as a cartoon because it's new and it's different. And they might not have ever seen it before. These poems are really funny. Really sweet. They cover family bonding, Thanksgiving, food, the first Thanksgiving. I really love this book. I think this is a great book to read before or after your Thanksgiving meal. It's that bonding time with family. It's great. The next thing that we have in this November primary box is a crinkle cutter. These are very, very popular in the Montessori curriculum. We use these all the time in our classroom for everything. I've seen them used in art with Play-Doh. I've seen them used on apples, celery, carrots, potatoes, really anything that you need cut up in your house or at home for a meal or for anything else. Your child can help you with that. I do want to caution that this is not, it's not like a sharp blade like a knife, but it is very sharp. So when I present this, depending on the age of your child and what they're cutting, you definitely want to be aware of where their non-dominant hand is, the hand they're not going to be using. So how I present it is when we have apple cutting in my classroom, I have them put one hand over and then always have the other hand on top. This helps for 2 reasons. It keeps this wandering hand from getting cut, but it also helps reinforce the strength needed to push through a fruit or vegetable. If they're doing Play-Doh, you could use 2 hands this way. If they're cutting celery or carrots, we always want to make sure they're holding it down at the end. And then once they get to the very end, they can switch to this. And I really would save that for your older children or more experienced. If they've used a crinkle cutter or any kind of food preparation cutting material, then they can definitely use, you can trust your own child to use this material on trickier fruits and vegetables. I definitely want to say that I wouldn't leave them unsupervised completely with this, only because we really don't want Thanksgiving prep or apple pie to turn into something, obviously, a bad experience with you and your child. We want it to stay positive. Definitely model that quite a few times before you let them fully dive in on their own to cut up a fruit or vegetable. And the last thing that we have in our November primary box is this beautiful apron. This is by the Bumblebee Shop, and it's a canvas apron, and it is child sized. As you can see, it's not too long. It's got adjustable straps that you can use depending on the size of your child. And then of course it wraps around the neck. I really love this apron because of how versatile it is. You can use this with food prep. You can use this for arts and crafts. This time of year, we're spending lots of time at home, lots of time indoors, and this is a great way to enhance your child's childhood experience. Lots of memories, cooking and baking and spending time with mom and dad in the kitchen, or even grandparents. And then also teaching them self-care, teaching them that our clothes are special to us, that we want to take care of them. And this is an easy way to take care of our clothes without a big mess. I recommend that you have the apron and the crinkle cutter in the kitchen all the time, and maybe even in a low drawer or a basket that your child can get to. You can even get a command hook and hook this somewhere in your kitchen. Maybe even have one for yourself. That way you and your child can put your aprons on together. And make sure the command hook, this is something I've seen before, if you put it a little too high, what you'll see is your child will just tug it down, and that's not beneficial to either of you. It's very frustrating, and then of course it can rip the hook off the wall. So you want to make sure that it's just low enough that they can lift it up over that hook. I think that's everything. That is our November primary box. I really hope that you love everything that's inside and you can get to use all of this for the holiday season. I hope you all have a happy Thanksgiving and a safe holiday. And if you have any questions or concerns, please comment below. I'd love to hear your feedback, positive, what you love about this, what you wish you could have seen, or maybe an extension idea, or even an extension question. If you're not sure about your particular child, please reach out to us. We have our YouTube channel below, but if you want more privacy, you can definitely message me through Instagram or Facebook, and we can help you kind of figure out the best way to use the materials for your home. Don't forget to subscribe to our video. We really love to make sure that you're not missing out on these video tutorials every single month. Thank you. Enjoy your box.